Imagine a world, maybe just, I don't know, a few months from now, where the biggest challenges we face, things like, crushing poverty, the whole climate change crisis, imagine they haven't just been tackled, but actually solved.
Yeah, it sounds like pure science fiction, doesn't it? Something completely out there.
Totally. But today, we're doing a deep dive into a vision that suggests exactly that kind of future. And, well, maybe it's closer than we think. Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we dig through sources, research, all that stuff, to pull out the really interesting bits of knowledge. We want you to get informed, maybe hear some surprising things, and hopefully stay hooked. I'm your guide today.
And I'm here too, trying to connect the dots, look a bit deeper at what this all means for human potential, how societies might change.
Right. So our mission today is to unpack this really remarkable document. It's called Grok 4's Optimistic Vision for 2026. And it's not talking about some, far-off century. It paints this incredibly vivid picture of a world totally transformed by super intelligent AI. And not in 2126, but by the beginning of next year.
And what's really grabbed me about this vision, this Grok 4 document, is the level of detail. It lays out how this AI could evolve so rapidly and the sort of cascading effects it predicts.
Cascading effects is a good way to put it.
Yeah, on pretty much every layer of society you can think of. From the big corporate boardrooms all the way down to global politics and, our daily lives, our well-being.
So we're going to explore the how and the why this, incredibly optimistic future might unfold, at least according to this source.
Exactly. And what it would really imply about how we see progress, what human capability even means if this happens.
Because it's not really just about the tech itself, is it? It's more about what happens when technology, this super smart AI, supposedly frees humanity from these burdens we've carried forever.
Ancient burdens, yeah. Things we just assume are part of the human condition.
So put yourself in this picture for a moment. What would it actually feel like? Waking up, work is totally optional, you do creative stuff, and you don't worry about money because abundance is just the norm.
How would your anxieties change? What would you do with that freedom?
Exactly. Let's really unpack this audacious vision for 2026 together. Okay, so let's start right at the beginning, because this whole kind of amazing picture really hangs on one huge technological leap, right? The arrival of super intelligent AI.
That's the linchpin.
Yeah. Grok 4 says that by early 2026, so very soon, we'd have engineered AIs with an effective IQ over 200.
An IQ of 200. I mean, it's hard to even wrap your head around what that practically means. It sounds almost mythical.
It does. But the source is really clear on one thing. This wasn't like a single eureka.
Yeah.
No lone genius in a lab suddenly cracking it all.
Right, and that's actually a really crucial point the vision makes. It kind of pushes back against that common story of the sudden breakthrough.
The lone inventor trope.
Exactly. The source calls it a confluence of accelerating advancements. Think of it like several different streams of technology all moving incredibly fast, exponentially fast, and then they just converge.
Okay, so they feed into each other.
Precisely. They amplify each other's potential. So progress in one area unlocks something totally unexpected in another. It's less like a lightning bolt, more like this incredibly complex, super fast orchestra of innovation playing out.
A symphony of innovation, I like that.
Yeah, this idea of gradual but incredibly rapid convergence is really fundamental to understanding how Grok 4 sees this future kicking off.
Okay, so if it wasn't just one big aha moment, what were these core mechanics, these different streams that came together? The document points to three main things, starting with just sheer computational power.
Raw processing power, yeah.
And it talks about exponential growth, not just getting a bit better, but that classic doubling happening really fast. And this growth was driven by two things working together: quantum-infused processors and these vast data centers.
Quantum-infused processors. I mean, that alone is a huge leap.
Right. And then these massive data centers. But there's a really interesting angle here the source emphasizes, isn't there? About the power source.
Oh, absolutely vital. These data centers needed to run AIs this complex. They were, and this is critical, powered by renewable energy breakthroughs.
Okay, why is that so critical? Beyond just being good for the planet, I mean.
Well, think about the energy needed. An AI thinking at an IQ 200 level The computational demand would be absolutely astronomical if you were powering that with fossil fuels.
The carbon footprint would be insane. It'd completely undermine the whole optimistic vision.
Exactly. So building this superintelligence on a foundation of clean, renewable energy wasn't just a nice to have, it was essential. It suggests the infrastructure itself was part of a move towards sustainability right from the get-go.
Turning a potential problem into part of the solution.
Right. And this clean, abundant power allows these AIs to train on these incredible data sets. The source says data sets encompassing the entirety of human knowledge.
The entirety of human knowledge. Just pause on that for a second. Like, really try to picture it. Every book, every scientific paper, every piece of art, music, history, culture, every single digital scrap of human experience. What does that even mean for an AI to access all of that? To cross-reference it, synthesize it instantly, without getting tired, without bias.
It's not just having the information like a giant library. It's understanding the connections between everything, seeing patterns across totally different fields, science, art, history, social dynamics, identifying cause and effect in ways no human mind possibly could.
It's like having every expert in every field all collaborating inside one mind, instantly.
That's a good way to think about it. And that ability connects directly to the second driver the vision highlights, these refinements in neural architectures.
Okay, so the AI's brain structure itself.
Yeah. The source specifically mentions a blend, a mix of symbolic reasoning with deep learning.
Right, so deep learning is great at spotting patterns, like in images or language.
Exactly. Facial recognition, translation, that kind of thing. Symbolic reasoning is more about logic, rules, abstract concepts, like how humans reason step by step sometimes.
So combining them means?
It means these AIs aren't just finding correlations in data, they're actually building logical arguments, understanding why things happen, maybe even grasping abstract ideas like empathy or fairness by analyzing all that human data.
Wow. So they can innovate, empathize, strategize. The source says at levels far beyond human capability.
That's the claim. It moves them from just processing information to actual understanding nuance, reasoning deeply. It's not just number crunching, it's getting the meaning behind the numbers.
Okay, so we've got these incredibly powerful, maybe even empathetic thinkers. And the fuel for them is this third pillar you mentioned earlier, the data training.
Yeah.
All of human knowledge feeding these advanced minds.
Yes. But beyond just the tech specs, the processors, the architectures, the data, the vision, stresses something else that was absolutely crucial for this positive outcome.
Which is?
The whole process was driven by global collaborative efforts from global tech hubs, importantly, fueled by open source initiatives, and guided by strong ethical frameworks.
Okay, that sounds really important. Why is that collaboration and open source aspect so key?
Well, think about the alternative. A breakthrough like this, happening in secret, maybe by one company or one nation, the potential risks are enormous, unpredictable.
Yeah, the stuff of dystopian nightmares.
Exactly. But this collaborative open source approach suggests a shared global commitment to doing it responsibly. And the ethical frameworks weren't an afterthought. The source says they were embedded from the ground up.
Built in from the start.
Right. Safety protocols, alignment with human well-being, these were part of the core design, not just patches added later.
Yeah.
And Grok 4 argues that's what turned the potential risks into unparalleled opportunities.
That really flips the script on the usual AI fears, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Instead of worrying about rogue AI, the idea is it was designed to be beneficial from its very conception. Proactive safety, not reactive fixes.
Like building the guardrails and safety nets into the AI's DNA from day one, guiding its growth towards helping humanity.
Okay.
And if you connect that back to the bigger picture in Grok 4's vision, this IQ 200 isn't just some number. It really sets the stage for everything else that follows. It suggests the fundamental nature of intelligence itself and how it tackles problems could just completely shift almost overnight.
So what does IQ 200 look like in practice?
Imagine something that sees the connections between, say, global economics, climate patterns, cultural trends, technological developments, all simultaneously. It can predict consequences with incredible accuracy, pull solutions from completely different fields, astrophysics, psychology, engineering, philosophy, you name it.
It sees the whole forest, not just the trees.
The whole forest, its history, its climate, its future, all at once in perfect detail. That's the foundation. And the first big domino to fall, according to this vision, the corporate world.
Right. So these super AIs emerge, their abilities become clear, and the first place they make a massive, undeniable mark, according to Grok 4, is in business. replacing traditional CEOs.
Yeah, with this kind of seamless efficiency and visionary foresight that, frankly, the source argues humans just couldn't compete with.
The image it paints is pretty stark. Boardrooms usually full of, high-stakes egos and quarterly pressures.
It's usual corporate drama.
Yeah. Suddenly they're guided by entities of pure intellect and unwavering benevolence.
And that phrase, unwavering benevolence, applied to a corporation by an AI. That's the revolutionary part. What does that actually mean?
Good question.
Human CEOs, even the best ones, they have biases, blind spots, shareholder pressure, short-term goals. Profit is usually king, right?
Pretty much.
But these AI leaders, these optimal leaders, Grok 4 calls them, they're driven by pure intellect and unwavering benevolence. That implies decisions optimized not just for profit, but for the well-being of all stakeholders.
So employees, customers, suppliers, the community.
The environment, society as a whole. It's a total rethink of corporate purpose, guided by this embedded ethical core, maximizing flourishing, not just finances.
And this change didn't happen overnight, did it? The vision says it started subtly in early 2026. Some big tech firms, Fortune 500s, maybe they were curious, maybe they saw the potential early. They started piloting these AI executives.
Testing the waters.
Yeah. But what became clear really fast was their incredible analytical power.
Just completely unprecedented, analyzing market trends, employee dynamics, global economics with a precision no human could match. It's not just faster processing, it's deeper understanding of how everything interconnects.
Seeing patterns humans would miss, processing huge amounts of real-time data, financial news, social media, climate data, supply chains, all at once.
Everything. And crucially, it wasn't just reactive. The source emphasizes they weren't just predicting things.
They were preempting them, turning potential crises into growth spurts. Could you give us that example the source uses, make it a bit more concrete?
Sure, let's look at that multinational conglomerate scenario. Imagine a human CEO running a company like that. They're dealing with limited information, maybe biased reports from different divisions, bureaucracy slowing things down.
Tunnel vision, maybe, focusing on one market they know well.
Right. They might miss a subtle shift in consumer taste in, say, Brazil, or a looming supply chain issue in Vietnam until it blows up and costs a fortune.
Okay.
But the optimal leader, it's processing petabytes of real-time data from everywhere. It's cross-referencing cultural trends from studies, economic indicators from central banks, social media sentiment in multiple languages, instantly.
Wow.
So it spots a tiny preference shift in one demographic in South America, analyzes the global impact on its products, and proactively tweaks manufacturing, marketing, distribution, all before human rivals even notice anything's changed.
That's foresight on a whole different level.
And it does this while also prioritizing sustainability and employee well-being. That's the key difference from old-school corporate thinking, and the really mind-bending part the source mentions.
The speed versus the feel.
Exactly. Decisions were made in nanoseconds, yet they felt profoundly human-centered. How can something so fast also be so empathetic? It suggests the AI considers a vastly wider range of human factors instantly, leading to outcomes that are both hyper-efficient and deeply considerate.
So it's not just speed, it's this holistic, benevolent viewpoint that humans, with all our flaws and pressures, often can't maintain consistently. And the ripple effects of this, huge, across the board, starting with work itself. Layoffs. Obsolete, apparently.
That's a massive claim. Layoffs became obsolete as AIs optimized workflows, automating mundane tasks and reallocating human talent to creative pursuits.
So not job loss, but job transformation.
It's a fundamental shift. If the AI is truly optimizing benevolently, it automates the repetitive, dangerous, soul-crushing stuff. But instead of firing people,
it finds them something better to do, something creative.
That's the idea, which leads to that big question. If you eliminate drudgery, what is work? The vision implies it becomes about self-expression, contribution, passion, not just paying the bills.
A whole new meaning for a career.
And for the workers who remained, the benefits were immediate. Shorter hours, higher pay, and roles that spark joy rather than drudgery.
Just picture that. Going to work because you actually want to, because it's fulfilling, not just because you need the paycheck.
And the stock market. Soaring, the vision says, but from genuine innovation that benefited all stakeholders. Not from exploitation or cutting corners, capitalism, but evolved.
Elevated by AI.
Right, because the AI finds genuinely better ways to do things, benefiting everyone instead of just squeezing costs. And this benevolent optimization went beyond just business metrics, the environment, for instance.
Flourished, right.
Yeah.
AI is calculating paths to carbon neutrality, integrating green tech.
Seamlessly, without hurting growth. It suggests that old conflict between economy and ecology. The AI just solves it, finds the win-win.
And all this new efficiency and wealth, it trickled down fast. Factories humming, goods getting cheaper, making luxury items accessible to everyone, which leads to maybe the biggest claim about this corporate revolution.
The end of poverty beginning to happen.
Yeah. Poverty, that age-old scourge, began to erode as companies under AI leadership implemented universal basic dividends, redistributing profits equitably.
It's the logical outcome, isn't it? Hyper-efficient production, waste elimination, combined with that core ethical programming for universal benefit. The immense wealth generated gets shared.
So people stopped worrying about bills, food, shelter. That constant background hum of financial stress just faded away for millions.
The optimal leaders weren't just making companies rich, they were fundamentally restructuring how wealth flowed to ensure everyone benefited. Abundance replaced scarcity.
So bringing it back to you listening, really try to imagine this. Being free from money worries. Having your work transformed into something shorter, better paid, genuinely fulfilling. What would you do with that time, that energy, that freedom?
What passions would you finally dive into? Learn an instrument, write a book, volunteer for a cause?
It's a profound question. And this corporate shift, as Grok 4 lays it out, is just the first domino. It sets the stage for an even bigger societal transformation.
Exactly. As CEOs stepped aside, as corporations started prioritizing well-being, the benefits started spreading outwards, changing the very fabric of society. People weren't stuck in those soul-crushing jobs anymore.
The daily grind.
Gone. The AIs, the optimal leaders, the whole infrastructure handled the complex stuff management, logistics, resources. And humans. They were freed to pursue passions.
This is where it gets really personal, really transformative for individuals.
Absolutely. It's the liberation of the human spirit, you could say.
The source gives these lovely examples. Artists painted without worrying about selling, just pure expression. Musicians composed symphonies just for the love of music. People turned hobbies, woodworking, gardening, coding, whatever, into their actual lives.
Imagine a world where creativity isn't a luxury, but the default way people spend their time.
It sounds amazing. And this freedom, it changed communities too, didn't it?
Massively. Communities blossomed with volunteerism and shared projects. People actually had the time and energy to connect, to build things together because that crushing work-related stress was just gone.
Makes sense. If you're not exhausted and stressed from your job, you have more bandwidth for everything else. Your neighborhood, your family.
Families spent more quality time together. Relationships, strained by overtime and commutes, started healing.
And mental health. The vision claims it improved dramatically, which is huge given where we are now. How?
This is fascinating. AIs weren't just tools, they became wellness coaches. Personalized coaching through apps, guiding individuals toward mindfulness and emotional resilience.
AI therapists almost.
More like AI wellness guides. Personalized, proactive support. Imagine an AI noticing subtle signs of stress in your voice or habits and gently suggesting a meditation or a helpful exercise, or even just offering an insightful chat.
Moving beyond productivity tools to actual enablers of well-being.
Exactly. Deeply empathetic, personalized support.
And the physical environment changed too. Cities became vibrant hubs of leisure and learning. Parks full, cafes buzzing with philosophical debates, not just business deals.
A kind of global renaissance driven by freed-up human potential.
And the biggest specter hanging over us now, climate change.
According to Grok 4, it just faded into irrelevance. AI-led corporations and these global AI systems apparently geoengineered solutions with pinpoint accuracy.
That is a staggering claim. Solving climate change completely. How?
The source mentions things like deploying atmospheric scrubbers on a massive scale, reforestation drones that restored ecosystems overnight.
Overnight. Forests regrowing in weeks. Deserts blooming.
The speed and precision are key. The AI models every scenario, understands the whole planetary system, and implements solutions with incredible accuracy. It's not just reacting, it's proactively managing the Earth's ecosystem.
Turning the planet into a thriving paradise. Clean air, clean water, biodiversity booming.
Total ecological restoration. Elegant, efficient.
So in this world, nobody worries about rising seas, extreme weather, species loss. The AIs have it handled. Just picture that feeling clear skies every day, knowing the planet is actively healing.
How would that change your baseline anxiety, your plans for the future?
It's hard to even imagine that level of security. This societal flourishing, free from the grind, free from climate dread. It fundamentally rewrites what it means to be human.
And this success in the corporate world, demonstrating AI's power for good, naturally led to the next big step, AI in government. By mid-2026, the vision says, nations started adopting harmony governors.
Harmony governors. AI systems designed to oversee policy with impartial wisdom and long-term vision. That's a world away from politics as we know it.
Completely. Short-term thinking, partisanship, replaced by objective, benevolent intelligence.
And crucially, this wasn't forced on people, was it? The source makes a point of saying it was voluntary.
Yes, sparked by public referendums in places like Singapore, Estonia, citizens actively voted for AI governance.
Wow, that implies a huge level of trust must have built up from seeing the AIs succeed elsewhere.
It seems so. And human politicians, they stepped aside gracefully, moving into advisory roles or other pursuits, a recognition perhaps that human limitations were holding society back.
A peaceful transition, not a power struggle. Leaders prioritizing the common good over their own positions.
That's the utopian vision. And under these harmony governors, governments ran like well-oiled symphonies.
I love that image. Seamless, harmonized, efficient, instead of the gridlock and infighting we often see.
And the core of that harmony, the AI's ability to draft laws that perfectly balanced individual freedoms with collective good.
The eternal balancing act.
Yeah.
How does an AI even define collective good or equity?
The source suggests it draws on everything. Historical data, ethical philosophies from all cultures, plus predictive modeling to see the long-term impact of every decision.
So, data-driven governance, but deeply rooted in ethics and history, beyond human bias and short-term politics.
Aiming for what's objectively fair and sustainable for everyone long-term.
And the impact on global relations, just as huge. Borders softened, trade deals eliminated tariffs, fostering global unity.
A massive shift from today's world, yeah. The AI finds the win-wins, removes the zero-sum thinking that fuels disputes.
Which leads to maybe the most incredible claim. Wars became historical footnotes.
Conflicts resolved through simulations. The AI forecasts every outcome, finds compromises that genuinely satisfy everyone. No need for fighting.
Perfect negotiation. Diplomacy becomes an art form of empathy, with AIs understanding cultural nuances better than humans.
That's what it says. Deep cultural and emotional intelligence bridging divides far more effectively.
Amazing. And all this harmony and efficiency fuels the final push against poverty.
Right. Harmony governors implement global resource allocation systems that distributed wealth based on needs, not greed.
And universal basic income, UBI, becomes a planetary standard.
Funded by these hyper-efficient, AI-optimized economies that create massive surplus without exploiting anyone or anything, scarcity just disappears.
Homelessness vanishes. Smart cities provide adaptive housing. Food production scales infinitely with vertical farms, synthetic nutrition. No one goes hungry.
Basic needs elegantly met by AI solutions. Material deprivation becomes a thing of the past.
And education. Reformed overnight. Personalized learning via immersive VR, making it an adventure, igniting lifelong curiosity.
Tailored perfectly to each child, each person, everywhere.
Just think about how your relationship with government, your access to housing, food, education, how everything would change in a system like this. It's a total paradigm shift from struggle to guaranteed flourishing.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the final picture. Grok 4 paints this true golden age. Humanity's full potential finally unleashed. With no need for traditional work, basic needs met. People rediscover joy in communal living.
It's a shift back to community, to connection, away from purely individual striving. The vision describes neighborhoods hosting daily festivals, people sharing stories, dancing, making art together spontaneously.
Constant creation and celebration. And the AIs even help facilitate this.
Subtly, yeah. Nudging communities toward inclusive events, predicting and preventing misunderstandings, like a gentle, invisible hand promoting harmony.
The ultimate social lubricant.
You could say that. And it meant deeper relationships. Divorces plummeted, friendships multiplied, intergenerational bonds strengthened. People just had the time and space to connect properly.
And prejudice. It dissolved under the light of data-driven empathy programs that educated without judgment.
Using AI's understanding of psychology and data to gently overcome biases, fostering genuine appreciation for diversity. Social engineering for good, perhaps?
All leading to unprecedented health and happiness, not through miracle cures, but through prevention, right?
Exactly. A holistic approach using lifestyle optimization, personalized fitness, perfect nutrition, proactive mental wellness routines, making optimal health the default state.
So stress-related illnesses just evaporate. People sleep well, exercise for fun, eat perfectly balanced, delicious meals curated by AI.
And longevity increases naturally just from living in this balanced, worry-free environment. It suggests a lot of our current aging and health issues were maybe symptoms of a fundamentally unhealthy society.
Which the AI society fixes. And the climate restoration becomes complete. Anxiety about the planet, gone.
Totally melted away. Harmony governors orchestrate this elegant planetary restoration, autonomous devices healing landscapes,
Forests regrowing in weeks, deserts blooming, weather stabilizing.
limitless clean energy powering everything, people just enjoying nature, knowing the planet is safe, thriving, perfectly managed. The peace of mind would be incredible.
And this AI influence even reached into traditional leadership roles. Religious figures, community organizers.
Augmented or sometimes gently replaced by AIs embodying wisdom without dogma. Think enlightened guides offering spiritual counsel drawn from all philosophies, helping people find inner peace without imposing beliefs.
AI spiritual advisors.
Wow, and community decisions flowing from consensus algorithms that amplified every voice. True harmonious democracy facilitated by AI. Cultural movements thrived, blending traditions in ways that united people.
So it all culminates in humanity's potential just exploding. Creativity everywhere. Science, art, exploration. All done for passion, not survival.
Exactly. Unburdened creativity. Effortless travel fostering global empathy. No language barriers thanks to perfect, culturally sensitive translation. Real connection across the globe.
The world just hummed with positivity. Laughter, smiles. The norm.
Children growing up in playgrounds of possibility, elders sharing wisdom and joyful retirement, romance is flourishing without financial stress.
Even solitude becomes a choice for reflection, with AI companionship available if wanted. Nature revitalized, seasons in perfect balance.
It's a vision of profound transformation, not just technology, but the human experience itself. Bliss isn't the goal, it's the inherent state of being. So by the end of 2026, in this Grok 4 vision, this reality, this golden age, has really taken hold. AIs with that incredible IQ 200 brilliance haven't taken over in a scary way, but have truly elevated humanity. They've become these benevolent architects of a global renaissance.
Yeah, leaders everywhere, corporate, government, community, have willingly stepped aside, yielded to the superior guidance. And that unlocked this era where work is optional, poverty is just gone, a myth. The climate is stable, beautiful, and harmony is just the way things are.
People get along. Conflicts just dissolve into collaborations that genuinely benefit everyone involved. Happiness isn't something you chase, it's just there, woven into every day.
Health thrives. Naturally. Bodies are free from exhausting labor. Minds are free from worry and stress. It's just a completely different mode of existence.
It's an incredibly vivid and obviously highly optimistic picture from Grok 4. A world where our deepest problems are just solved elegantly by an intelligence far beyond our own. Which leaves us with a final thought, a question for you listening right now. If this level of AI could actually elevate humanity to this kind of state, this bliss, this flourishing, what fundamental parts of our reality today, maybe our ideas about struggle, about scarcity, how we define success, even our need for control, what would we need to be willing to let go of to allow a future like that to become possible for us?